और परितोष, जहाँ तक की बात है कि यूथ इज़ लूजिंग इंटरेस्ट इन इंडियन माइथोलॉजी, आई टेंड टू डिसएग्री विद दैट। बिकॉज अगर ऐसा होता तो आज इतने सारे जो बेस्ट सेलर्स हैं, जैसे अमीश त्रिपाठी हैं, उनकी बुक्स इतनी ना बिक रही होती। सो आई बिलीव विद द कमिंग ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन एज एंड द सोशल मीडिया रेवोल्यूशन, interest in mythology has increased actually. People are connecting back to their roots even more now.
Namaste and welcome to yet another episode of The Speaking Order, where we bring to you stories from the lives of the IRS officer trainees. A lot has happened since our last video was broadcast, but the most important thing to us is the love and appreciation that you have shown to this initiative. हमारे आज के अतिथि एक बहुमुखी प्रतिभा के धनी है. He is a CA, he is now a taxman, he has played inter-school cricket in the past, and he has a keen interest in mythology. So Jay, welcome to the second episode.
Thank you, Paritosh.
અને કેમ છે તું?
મજામાં, કેમ છે?
ઊંઘ થઈ?
બહુ સારી.
Okay. I thought you would be nervous because this will be your first ever interview.
I have to say I'm a bit nervous, but I believe in resting well before an exam, so that is what I have done today also.
All right. So Jay, how did you develop an interest in mythology? Because these days to find somebody in his 20s to be interested in mythology is very unusual.
For me personally, Paritosh, it started with these stories that we hear from our parents in the childhood. But my real interest started when I started following mythology on TV during my college times.
Okay.
It was a time when I used to come back from college at around 5 p.m. and at that time Mahabharata was being telecasted on Star.
Which Mahabharata are we talking about?
We are talking about the old one, the B.R. Chopra one.
Oh, okay, all right. The classic.
The classic one, yeah. So, and my mother is a very big fan of that Mahabharata. Okay. So she used to make me watch it with her, and I developed keen interest in the various stories and the complexities of the characters, and that is how I started my journey into Indian mythology. और परितोष, जहाँ तक की बात है कि youth is losing interest in Indian mythology, I tend to disagree with that. Because अगर ऐसा होता तो आज इतने सारे जो बेस्ट सेलर्स हैं, जैसे अमीश त्रिपाठी हैं, उनकी बुक्स इतनी ना बिक रही होती. So I believe with the coming of the information age and the social media revolution, interest in mythology has increased actually. People are connecting back to their roots even more now. And अब जैसे आपने देखा होगा कोरोना के टाइम पे रामायण और महाभारत का रीटेलीकास्ट हो रहा है दूरदर्शन में, तो apparently Ramayana is the most watched general entertainment channel in India since 2015.
Okay.
So if the youth was not watching it, probably it would not have that much viewership.
Very true, very true. So Jay, you have already given 3 UPSC interviews and you had also mentioned mythology in your DAF. तो आज तक तुम्हारे इंटरव्यूज़ में तुम्हें ऐसे कौन से सवाल पूछे हैं जो तुम हमारे व्यूअर्स के साथ शेयर करना चाहोगे?
So I would like to say I just gave my interview on 19th of March.
Oh, okay.
The one. So I was asked this very interesting question because I have also mentioned that I have played inter-school cricket. I was asked by one of the board members in the interview to compare the two greats in Indian cricket, Sachin Tendulkar from an earlier era and Virat Kohli from this era, to two mythological characters.
That's a very interesting question.
Yes. So I focused on their personalities and I said that if I had to choose one character from Indian mythology for Sachin Tendulkar, it would be Ram.
Okay.
Because he was a very calm, peaceful person, a follower of rules, an inward-looking person, an inward-focused person. On the other hand, if I were to compare Virat Kohli, it would be Krishna. That is because he is very charismatic, he is very flamboyant, aggressive as well, and he tends to inspire people that play with him. So yeah, I believe that this was a very good question, kind of a novel question that I faced regarding Indian mythology.
So Jay, you have been in this process of writing the civil services exam for a time now, for at least 3 years. So there are many aspirants who feel a certain sense of anxiety and the fear of failure while they are preparing for this exam. So how can reading mythology help them cope with that?
तो परितोष, क्योंकि यूपीएससी का सफ़र काफ़ी लंबा होता है, एग्ज़ाम प्रोसेस ही 9 महीने का होता है, तो बहुत लोगों को काफ़ी अलग अलग टाइप के प्रेशर्स आते हैं. कुछ के ऊपर फाइनेंशियल प्रेशर्स होते हैं, किसी की एज बढ़ रही होती है, तो किसी को फियर ऑफ फेलियर होता है. तो जो प्रेशर मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा ऑप्रेसिव लगा इस पूरे प्रोसेस में वो ये था कि आप जब अपने घर जाते हैं या कोई भी सोशल गैदरिंग्स में जाते हैं तो लोग आपको पूछते रहते हैं कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं, आप कितना कमा रहे हैं, आप कब तक जॉब मिलेगी आपको और आप क्या बनेंगे. तो ये जो प्रेशर ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस होता है सबसे ज़्यादा अपनों का, अपनी इमीडिएट फैमिली का, ये काफ़ी हावी होता है लोगों के ऊपर. तो इसके लिए मेरे पास एक सुझाव है, जो भी यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट ये चीज़ फेस कर रहा है उनके लिए. एक माइथोलॉजिकल स्टोरी के माध्यम से मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि एक बार शिवजी, पार्वती जी और नंदी कहीं जा रहे थे. शिवा एंड पार्वती वर ऑन देयर फुट एंड दैट इज़ व्हेन अ पासर बाय सॉ देम एंड ही कमेंटेड कि ये कैसे लोग हैं, मतलब दे आर सो स्टूपिड दैट डिस्पाइट हैविंग अ बुल दे आर वॉकिंग ऑन द फुट. तो देन शिवा चेंज्ड इट, ही मेड पार्वती जी सिट ऑन द बुल एंड ही केप्ट वॉकिंग. अदर पासर बाय कमेंटेड कि ये कैसा आदमी है, जोरू का गुलाम, जो अपनी बीवी को तो बिठा रहा है लेकिन खुद पैरों पे चल रहा है. तो अगेन ही चेंज इट, ही सैट ऑन द बुल एंड ही मेड हिज वाइफ वॉक. तो तीसरा आदमी ही कमेंट करता है कि ये कैसा आदमी है जो खुद तो बैठा हुआ है लेकिन अपनी बीवी को चला रहा है. तो देन दे बोथ चेंज इट, देन दे बोथ सैट ऑन द बुल. तो चौथा आदमी कमेंट कर रहा है कि ये कैसे लोग हैं जो एक जानवर के साथ इतनी क्रूरता दिखा रहे हैं. द मॉरल ऑफ द स्टोरी, परितोष, इज दैट नो मैटर वॉट एवर यू डू इन योर लाइफ, whether you are into civil services or you are into entrepreneurship or any risk taking business, people are going to comment. And if you let that impact your decisions, then you will never be happy in your life despite becoming whatever you want to become. So my advice to all the aspirants is कि आप इन सब चीज़ों से ऊपर उठें, इन पे फोकस ना करें, अपने गोल पे फोकस करें एंड बी कॉन्फिडेंट.
दिस रिमाइंड्स मी ऑफ वेरी गुड सॉन्ग बाय किशोर कुमार. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, छोड़ो बेकार की बातों में, बीत ना जाए रहना.
और अगर आपको लोगों को कहने से रोकना है ना, तो मेरा तो एडवाइस ये है कि आपको बता भी मत कि आप प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो इस एग्ज़ाम के लिए. वो ज़्यादा बेटर होगा. एक बार आप उनको सरप्राइज़ दो कि हाँ आईएएस बन गया या आईपीएस बन गया या आईआरएस बन गया, तो ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा.
So let your success speak.
Let your success speak, yes.
Coming to the topic of the day, Jay, we follow structures of administration which are necessarily Western, British in nature, whereas our society is still intrinsically Indian, and this has led to a number of contradictions. So how can we find a solution to this in an Indian way of administration? What would it look like? What would its characteristics be?
परितोष, इंडियन वे ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और एक जो हम अभी फॉलो कर रहे हैं, जो ब्रिटिश सिस्टम, उसका अंतर समझने के लिए हम एक स्टोरी सुनते हैं. ये स्टोरी अलेक्जेंडर की है. जब वो इंडिया आए थे, ऑन द बैंक्स ऑफ द रिवर इंडस ही मीट्स बाहुबली, अ जैन मॉन्क, वेरी पॉपुलर वन एट दैट. एंड उनमें एक कॉन्वर्सेशन होता है जिसमें अलेक्जेंडर पहले बाहुबली से पूछते हैं कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं. बाहुबली रिप्लाइज कि आई एम एक्सपीरियंसिंग नथिंगनेस, आई एम एक्सपीरियंसिंग शून्यवाद. तो फिर बाहुबली पूछते हैं इनसे कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं. बोले मैं विश्व विजय कर रहा हूँ, मैं उस पर निकला हूँ, आई एम ट्राइंग टू कॉन्कर द वर्ल्ड. एंड देन बोथ सार्केस्टिकली लाफ एट ईच अदर, क्योंकि दोनों सोचते हैं कि ये दूसरा वाला स्टूपिड है, कि ये क्या कर रहा है, ही इज़ चेजिंग समथिंग दैट इज़ मीनिंगलेस. सो what do we learn from this story? We learn that Western ideas and stories and beliefs are mainly focused on heroes who have to achieve something. Achievement is the key word there.
And what about the Indian system?
Indian system is different because we believe in an infinite life system.
Right.
हमारा जन्म होता है, पुनर्जन्म होता है, डेथ होती है, reincarnation होता है, कर्म होता है. It is very cyclical and it is never ending per se.
Right.
तो जब चीज़ें इन्फिनिट हो जाती तो आपके अचीवमेंट्स का कोई मोल नहीं रह जाता, because you know anything divided by infinity is equal to zero.
What then is the goal of the Indian administrative system?
Introspection, because what else do you have to do in an infinite life to figure out कि क्यों ये सब हो रहा है, why is it happening again and again. तो हमारे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के अंदर फोकस जो है ना, वो प्रोसीजर्स पे नहीं होता है, वो प्रिंसिपल पे होता है, वो धर्म पे होता है, नॉट ऑन द रूल्स. हम राइट्स की बात नहीं करते, हम ड्यूटीज़ की बात करते हैं. हम रिजिड रूल्स की जगह सिचुएशंस को ज़्यादा महत्व देते हैं. तो इसके कारण अभी जो स्ट्रक्चर हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं उससे नुकसान क्या हो रहा है। अब जैसे सारे रूल्स फॉलो हो रहे हैं बट पीडीएस में फिर भी लोगों को खाना नहीं मिल रहा। हमारे यहाँ 38% बच्चे कुपोषित हैं। फर्टिलाइज़र सब्सिडी इतनी जा रही है फिर भी हमारे किसान जो है वो अभी भी आत्महत्या कर रहे हैं। तो इन चीज़ों को चेंज कैसे किया जाए इन एन इंडियन वे, दैट इज़ द फोकस ऑफ आवर study in Indian mythology.
So I think the Indian way of administration will focus more on welfare and outcomes rather than on outputs.
Yes, more on what is the intention of working and trying to control the organization not through structures but through people. And this is the thought in most Eastern ideologies, in most Eastern mythologies also. If you have heard of a concept called total quality management in Japan, it also works on this concept.
So Jay, the success of any organization depends on the character and the capabilities of its leader. And the trademark of a good leader is his flexibility, to be able to respond as per changing situations and times. So what does Indian mythology talk about leadership styles?
So Paritosh, we have all heard this one saying since our childhood कि जैसा युग होता है वैसा ही अवतार होता है. The avatars of Vishnu are the ultimate expression of flexibility in leadership and leadership on situations. Let's go sequentially. During Satyug, it represents a time when the administration is not much developed. The institutions are new. So you need a strict disciplinarian. You need a teacher who punishes the students when they break the rules. That is why there is Parshuram. From there we go to the Treta Yuga, where organization has started creating its own structures, and that is the time when you see the rise of a leader like Ram, who will not control the organization or will not punish the people, but will inspire them by leading by example. वे स्वयं मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम होंगे and he expects everyone to act in a certain way. From that we go to a more corrupt phase, Dwapar Yuga. In an organization, it is a time when people start being deceitful and trying to break the rules. That is the time when you need a leader like Krishna, who is a coach of human talent, who doesn't do things himself but trains people in a way that the things are done. And for him, rules are not as important as the principles behind those rules. उनके लिए धर्म स्थापना का महत्व होता है, उस धर्म की स्थापना कैसे हो वो महत्व नहीं होता. From that we go to the last phase of an organization. Every organization has to end someday, and that is when we face a leader like Buddha or Kalki. Buddha is a leader who totally withdraws from the organization, and Kalki is a leader who knows that the organization is not worth keeping now, so he destroys the organization for new creation and new birth to happen. So these are the styles of leadership that even us as administrators can practice in our daily life.
अरे वाह छोकरा, तो बहुत सरस जवाब आपके. तुम्हारे इसी जवाब से प्रसन्न होकर विष्णु भगवान तुम्हें 3 वरदान देते हैं. मांगो मांगो जो मांगना हो.
ये तो काफ़ी मुश्किल क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया आपने, बट अभी
सवाल नहीं है
ये वरदान मांगना ज़्यादा मुश्किल होता है. बट मुझे अगर एक वरदान मांगना पड़े तो मैं ये कहूँगा कि हे प्रभु, कोरोना की बहुत बड़ी बीमारी है और उसके कारण मैं आमरस नहीं खा पा रहा हूँ जो मुझे काफ़ी पसंद है. तो इसको हम सबको इस बीमारी से मुक्त करें और हमें आमरस खाने का अवसर प्रदान करें.
तथास्तु तथास्तु. और दूसरा
प्रभु, हम और हमारे सारे बैचमेट्स काफ़ी परेशान हैं. हम अभी ई मॉड्यूल पढ़ रहे हैं और कस्टम एक्ट, जीएसटी एक्ट पढ़ने में हमारा काफ़ी खून पसीना एक हो रहा है. तो हमें ऐसी शक्ति दें कि हमें बिना पढ़े ही कस्टम एक्ट, जीएसटी एक्ट आ जाए, क्योंकि हम बहुत पढ़ चुके हैं पिछले 3-4 सालों से.
An administrator faces a lot of ethical dilemmas in his personal life, in his professional life. और कहीं कहीं ये इंडियन माइथोलॉजी के धर्म संकट वाले कंसेप्ट से मिलता जुलता नहीं है. तो माइथोलॉजी में इसको लेकर क्या चर्चा की गई है?
परितोष, वैसे पूरी इंडियन माइथोलॉजी ऐसे स्टोरीज से भरी हुई है जहाँ धर्म संकट होते हैं. अब जैसे सबसे बड़ा अगर कोई कैरेक्टर हो जिन्होंने सबसे ज़्यादा धर्म संकट फेस किए हो तो वो राम है. उनकी एक स्टोरी मैं बताता हूँ. तो जब युद्ध समाप्त होता है और जब श्री राम का ये समय आता है कि वो अपने वैकुंठ वापस जाएं, तब श्री राम अपने भाई को बुलाते हैं, लक्ष्मण को, और कहते हैं कि लक्ष्मण, मुझे अकेला रहना है. आई वॉन्ट टू स्टे अलोन. लक्ष्मण प्रोमिसेस हिम कि आई विल स्टैंड एट योर डोर I will guard it, and whoever disturbs your solitude, I will kill him. तो तब भी अब ये खड़े हैं लक्ष्मण, और तब भी ऋषि दुर्वासा आ जाते हैं, जो अगर आपको पता होगा तो काफ़ी गुस्से वाले एक ऋषि हैं, और वो लक्ष्मण से कहते हैं कि मुझे आपके महाराज से मिलना है। तो लक्ष्मण कहते हैं बट मैं आपको नहीं मिलने दे सकता, वो एकांत चाहते हैं। तो ऋषि दुर्वासा उनसे कहते हैं कि अगर तुम मुझे अपने महाराज से नहीं मिलने दोगे तो आई विल डिस्ट्रॉय द होल ऑफ अयोध्या। लक्ष्मण थिंक्स अ लॉट, ही इज इन धर्म संकट, then he takes that decision, he goes to his brother and he says कि ऋषि दुर्वासा is here and despite your order I couldn't because अयोध्या को बचाना था। राम literally smiles at him, he says कि where is Durvasa, and they turn back, there is no Durvasa, it was an apparition। तो तब राम says कि this was the last lesson I wanted to give you in your life, कि तुमने पूरी जिंदगी राम की भक्ति की है, राम की तरफ लॉयल्टी दिखाई है, बट राम के प्रति लॉयल्टी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है। अयोध्या इज इंपॉर्टेंट, द पीपल आर इंपॉर्टेंट, द वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल इज इंपॉर्टेंट।
So this is very similar to the ethics case studies that we have seen, where a superior asks you to do something which may be illegal or unlawful.
Yes.
But you have to take a decision based on constitutional values and the greater welfare of the citizens.
Of the people, yes. And it is not important that who you obey or disobey. It is important that what you uphold.
Right.
And this is the story that clearly states that even Ram doesn't want him to be the priority. He wants his people to be the priority.
So we had opened the floor to questions from our audience also, and we have come across two very good questions.
Right.
One of them happens to be from Bharat Yadav, who is in the Indian Foreign Service, a batchmate of ours and a very good friend. So he wants to know whether Kautilya or Chanakya was the first and the last realist in India.
I would say of course not. Indian history and Indian mythology is full of characters who took the situation and the pragmatism of the situation into context before making their decision.
Give me examples.
एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे आप राम का एग्जाम्पल ले लीजिए, जिसमें जो एक एपिसोड है बाली वध का, जहाँ पे द रूल्स ऑफ वॉर क्लियरली स्टेट दैट यू कैन नॉट फायर ऑन अ पर्सन while hiding when he is not aware of you. But Ram does kill Bali in that way. He fires from the bushes in hiding, and when asked for an explanation, he says कि the way you have behaved is not fit for a human, so I cannot follow the human code of war while killing you. Similar example is that of Yudhishthir while killing Drona. नरोवा कुंजरोवा का एपिसोड आपको पता ही होगा। तो उस प्रकार से इंडियन माइथोलॉजी में बिफोर चाणक्य दे वर द pragmatists.
So these are two people who are considered examples of idealism.
People,
despite that they showed a great realism in their conduct.
Exactly, and people who are never known to break any of the rules, but they did break the rules because the situation demanded so.
All right. And after Chanakya?
The best example is Gandhi.
Okay.
He was a pragmatist and a strategist par excellence. He always looked at the situation. He knew when to strike and he knew when to go back. आप ले लीजिए नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट, जब उन्होंने देखा कि वायलेंस की तरफ जाता है तो ही टुक अ स्टेप बैक. सो व्हाट ग्रेटर एग्जांपल कैन देयर बी फॉर pragmatism or realism in India?
The second question is from Mishti. She is one of our followers on Instagram. So she wants to know what the importance of religion in a young person's life today.
See, I'm not surprised that this question has come in a talk on Indian mythology, because people tend to confuse Indian mythology with religion. See, religion is the process, is the act of worshipping Ram and Krishna as gods. And mythology tells you how they became gods.
Right.
They didn't become gods like superheroes. They were not Avengers कि जिन्होंने कुछ बहुत बड़ा कारनामा कर दिया. They faced struggles like normal humans in life, and the way they responded to these struggles is what made them God in this country. So the focus of mythology is on creation of that God, and the focus of religion is on worshipping that God.
And sometimes in making superhumans out of the gods, we forget the basic struggles that they have to face as humans throughout their lives.
Yes, of course. And you see the example of Ram. Ram's life is not a story of success. No person may have seen as many struggles as he did or as many failures as he did. But he went through all of it without becoming reactive or without becoming hateful of anybody. That is what we need to learn, I think. And that is what I believe even religion teaches, but in a different manner than mythology.
With this, we come to the end of today's interaction. Jay, thank you for being with us. It was a great learning experience for me personally. But I found it very difficult to talk to you either in English or Hindi because we are both Gujaratis, and it's a peculiar characteristic of Gujaratis that when we get together we talk only in Gujarati.
Gujarati, yes.
So the last question for my sake will be in Gujarati. અહીંયાની મેસમાં આવા વાહિયાત ઢોકળા ખાઈ ખાઈને તને ઘરનું ખાવાનું યાદ નથી આવતું?
ખાસ કરીને ઢોકળા તો બહુ જ યાદ આવે છે. અહીંયાની મેસના ઢોકળા ખાઈને મારી આંખો ખુલી ગઈ કે વોટ આઈ એમ મિસિંગ. આમનો રસ હોય કે ઢોકળા હોય કે ફાફડા જલેબી હોય, બધું આ બધું અહીંયા દિલ્હીમાં મળવું મુશ્કેલ છે. પણ જેમ કે કહેવાય છે કે જ્યાં પણ એક ગુજરાતી રહેતો હોય ત્યાં સદાકાળ ગુજરાત વસ્તુ હોય છે. તો આઈ એમ હેપી દેટ આઈ ફાઉન્ડ અ ગુજરાતી બેચમેટ સો દેટ आई कैन एटलीस्ट टॉक इन गुजराती टू यू एंड उससे चला रहे हैं काम.
And two Gujaratis sitting together talk about three things. The first is business, the second is food, and the third is Garba.
Garba.
So have you watched Helaro?
Of course I have. Excellent movie.
So to my audience too, Helaro is a national award winning Gujarati movie. Do have a look. Wonderful acting, great cinematography, great storyline too. And in the next episode we shall be bringing you a conversation with Malyach Singh IRS, who shall be talking about her experiences with sustainable living. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. Jai Hind. Chalo.
रंगलो जाम्यो कालिंदड़ी ने छो गाड़ा तारा ओरे छबीला तारा ओरे रंगीला तारा रंग फेरू जुए तारी वाट रंगलो.